Hey everybody, this is Kite Altera here, and in this video, I will finally be showing you guys the finished product of this indoor gardening. At least the setup portion of it, not the actual growing portion of it, obviously. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and be showing you us putting the seeds in here, inside the containers, filling it with soil, and the lighting that I have to have this grow indoors. So first thing you want to do is got all 10 pots. I'm going to be using 10 of them for now. And I have the soil that I have sterilized like in the previous video. So I'm going to fill these up. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the second portion, which will be the planting phase as well as turning everything on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and cut to the scene where I already have these filled. And then we'll just go from there. So let's go. Hey guys, so we have already filled up, I have already filled up all the pots with the soil. Thankfully, I had just enough sterilized that I could fill all of them up as I wanted to. So now this next phase, we're going to go ahead and start putting these in. Now, as I said in the previous video about doing the indoor gardening, if you look at the back of these burpee seed packets, you can actually see right here where it says how much you can put in each container. So for this squash that I'm trying to plant, the summer squash, I can only put 1 in. For the garden beans, 5. Elysium will be 4. Carrots will be 12. Cabbage will be 1. And for another set of garden beans, it will be 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in each container. And just for you guys to know, the bottom of these pots, they don't have the holes in them. Now, they have where if you want to put holes in it, you would know where to drill. But for the purposes of indoor gardening, I'm going to not have, I'm not going to put the holes in because I don't want it to be where I water the plants and then the water starts to drip onto the wood and starts damaging the items and then getting into the carpet. So because of that, I'm just going to make sure that when I water these, I'm going to actually have a soil tester that tests the moisture, and then that will tell me do they need to be watered. Or you could just use the finger method where you put one of your fingers, it doesn't matter which one, down into the soil, or you dig up a part of the soil and get deeper into the pot, and then you test for moisture. So that'll just be what I decide to do. You can do it differently, however you choose. But I'm just letting you guys know so you don't put holes in here and then you go to water and then there's water like pooling up everywhere. So we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting all these planted in, and then we'll go ahead to the next scene, which will be pulling everything up, turning on the lights, and you guys can see how it looks. So let's go ahead and cut straight to me already finishing planting. Alrighty guys, so I have finally finished planting everything. We have our greens, beans, no, we don't have potatoes, tomatoes, nor lamb, rams, or hogs or dogs. But we do have our beans, carrots, cabbage. We were going to grow some Elysium, but I decided against it because I could just go without it, honestly. But I just decided to grow everything else, which is not that big of a deal because the Elysium is just flowering plants, while the rest of them have some type of fruiting body that we can use to reproduce the items, the plants. So the next question will be, one, how are they going to get the necessary light? Because daylight, the limited daylight, and the light from this light fixture up above us is not enough. Well, if you haven't seen, we're going to be using grow lights. But the only thing is, it's not just this. We have an entire array set up, and they're all hooked up to a timer that I'll give you guys a review on, the one that I really like better than the previous mechanical timer that I was using, if you looked at the review on that one. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and give you a show of the lighting system. So here you guys go. Alrighty guys, here is the lighting array. So as you can see, I have 10 of them. They're all hooked up. 5 are on the ceiling, 5 are below, and of course you have the lighting system here where they're all connected. I had to bundle these up because without that it looked like a rat nest. So what I do have is a timer. I don't know if you can see, it's right here. I have that little timer there, and that's going to be what powers all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and set the timer so you guys see. What it'll do is it'll cut automatically on and cut automatically off within a specified time. When you're using these lights though, I would suggest you do not look directly at them, like at all. And the reasoning for that is because these lights are very, very bright. So if you look directly at them, it's like you have a bright light on like at a desk lamp and you just look at it. It's going to injure your eyes, especially because these are extremely bright. It's going to be even worse. It's like when you go outside and you see the sun, but you just keep staring at the sun. So do not look directly at this. Please, I implore you to please not do it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys it turning on and it turning off as well. I think it's a 1 minute interval. So I'm going to be behind the camera once I set it so I can at least, cover my eyes, turn away, that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and show you guys that. Alrighty guys, so I have actually set the timer to go off in a few minutes. For the timer that I'm using, which I will give you a review on it in a few days after this initial post. But what it is you can set, it's a 7-day timer. And what you do is you can put in the input time throughout a 7-day period, and you can have multiple cycles depending on what you were trying to run. So for example, these lights and these plants need at least 8 to 12 hours. So I have the timer to set from 2 in the morning up until I believe like 11 or 12 at night. And they'll be going on the entire time because that is the time where I'm busy. I'm gone off at work roughly. And since it's in a private room, all I have to do is keep the door closed. And I don't have to worry about anyone walking in because, I don't have that kind of luxury of that. But everything has just turned on. Let's turn this light off. And as you can see here, it is quite bright. So make sure you shield your eyes like I talked about before. This is only going to be on for a minute, but it just shows you how bright these lights can get. One thing I would say, if you're going to be using something like this, make sure you check the wattage. For these lights, they're 12 watts, but there are some that have higher watts. You just want to make sure that power strip that you see over to your left, you want to ensure that it can handle the wattage, the draw from it to power all these lights, and make sure that the timer itself can handle it as well. Because if you decide to go for a mechanical timer, it may not be able to handle it, and then you risk damaging not only your lights, but your power strip as well as the timer itself. And especially for all these timers, if they all go out, which they already have, then you would have to worry about replacing all of these. Now this cost me roughly over $100 to set this entire thing up. If I had to replace it, it would suck a lot. So just make sure you're doing your due diligence and your necessary research. I'm going to have links in the description for what I purchased so that you can have it set up exactly like how I did without having to worry about the power draw and possibly damaging your equipment. So that's all I have for the video today. I'd like to thank you guys for being with me doing this. I am so excited to start this gardening project. I had the soil sterilized. I had all the lights that I had to set up. It took me about an hour, especially for the ones up top, because I had to try and get it with my moving chair, which is very dangerous. Don't do that, guys. So within a week, I imagine that all of these are going to be sprouting up, and then I can give you guys the first weekly update on the indoor gardening video. I'll look forward to me giving you guys a review on this timing system, which will come very shortly. I'm actually not going to do it on a weekly basis for this review video, but it's actually going to be 2 or 3 days after this video that you're watching. So just stay in tune, and then you guys will see how you use it. So this is Kite Altair here. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends as well as put something in the comments. What do you guys think about my setup, and are there any setups that you do that work for you? For mine, these are LEDs. I know some people use a lot of different grow lights, but so what do you guys use when you're doing your indoor gardening? What tips or tricks do you have so I can improve mine? And I think that'd be a good conversation starter just from there. And these plants are going to take roughly 87 to 100 days. So this series will be going on for at least that time frame. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Please have a good day. Have a very blessed weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.